You say I make you nervous, a tragedy. I'm a
BTS news today. Los Angeles that morning wasn't any different than usual. The sun was shining brightly. The sound of seagulls occasionally echoed from the direction of Santa Monica's shore, and the streets were slowly filling with the pulse of a city that never truly sleeps. But for BTS fans, especially ARMYs who track every digital trace of the members, something felt off today. Whether it was the way Jungkook walked briskly through the private terminal at LAX with a black hoodie pulled over his head, or the blank expression on Jimin's face captured by a camera at a recording studio in Burbank, nothing felt quite right. They were indeed in the United States. It had been 3 days since Jungkook and Jimin were confirmed to be in Los Angeles. But they weren't there with laughter, smiles, or Instagram lives like usual. No live streams. No cheerful selfies. No random videos of Jungkook singing in a car or Jimin dancing gently to soft music. They appeared, but in silence. And more surprisingly, they were seen together, but not speaking. Speculation started to swirl in the morning after a music industry insider account on X posted a snippet of CCTV footage from a major studio on Sunset Boulevard. In the clip, Jimin arrived first. He wore a brown leather jacket, a gray beanie, and large sunglasses that nearly covered his entire expression. He entered the building without greeting anyone, not even glancing at the cameraman who called out his name. Not long after, a black vehicle pulled up and out stepped Jungkook, alone. No manager, no staff, just him and a heavy-looking black backpack. But his steps were unsteady. He paused in front of the studio door for 5 seconds. Someone inside opened the door and invited him in. But there were no hugs, no greetings, no wave toward Jimin, who, according to internal sources, was already in the control room. That meeting, if you could call it that, felt cold. So cold, it seemed even the warm Los Angeles summer air froze around it. What was really going on? Why were Jimin and Jungkook, known as the closest duo in BTS, suddenly looking distant in a city filled with so many memories for them? Was this just a momentary misunderstanding? Or was there something deeper? Something even their closest staff didn't yet know? A studio technician who asked to remain anonymous revealed that Jimin and Jungkook were working on a special joint album, said to be one of the biggest musical ventures either of them had attempted since going solo. The project was reportedly called Seventh Silence, a title not yet listed on any official HYB or Bigot release schedules. The album was said to contain 7 collaborative tracks between Jimin and Jungkook, portraying their journey as group mates, close friends, and individuals who've grown together under the weight of the entertainment industry for over a decade. But it was during the process of creating this album that tension started to brew. One of the songs, allegedly titled "We Weren't Us Anymore," became the breaking point. According to insiders, the lyrics were deeply emotional, touching on personal conflict, emotional separation, and the sense of loss within a once intimate bond. Jungkook wanted the song to be presented raw and honest, no filters, no censorship. But Jimin disagreed. Jimin believed the song was too revealing, too personal, and easily misunderstood by the public. He wanted to replace it with something more neutral in meaning. But Jungkook refused. And since then, tension began to rise in the studio. Some staff reported that 2 days ago, after completing the 6th vocal take, Jimin left the room first. He didn't wait for Jungkook to finish. He simply placed his headphones down and said softly, "I need air," then disappeared for almost 2 hours. Jungkook had tried to find him, but couldn't. Since that day, they began arriving and leaving separately. They communicated only through the producer. No comments on each other's takes. No creative exchange like before. They didn't even sit in the same room during mixing sessions. ARMY began sensing the tension when a well-known LA photographer uploaded a candid shot of Jungkook sitting alone outside the studio, staring blankly at the sky. In his hand was a sheet of paper, presumably lyrics. But what hurt more than the tired expression on his face was the empty chair beside him, the one that used to be occupied by Jimin. Last night, Jimin was seen at a Japanese restaurant in downtown LA. He was with HYB staff, and none of them appeared to be smiling. Jungkook, meanwhile, was spotted walking alone to the gym at 1 a.m. His only companion that night was the music playing in his earphones, and the black hoodie he never took off his head. Will this tension affect the Seventh Silence album? Will the two manage to complete the project on time? And most importantly, can their friendship still be saved? A well-known fan site wrote on their personal blog, "They may not speak in front of the camera, but some things can't be hidden." The way Jungkook looked toward the control room, that wasn't a look of hate. It was a gaze filled with longing. But Jimin, he seemed closed off. Many hope this tension is just part of the creative process. Sometimes, two great artists need to go through storms before creating a rainbow. But others fear this silence isn't a phase, but the result of wounds that haven't yet healed. Some rumors even claim that Jimin had considered withdrawing from the project. But it was Jungkook who convinced management to keep him involved, allegedly saying, "This album will never be complete without him." A sentence that, if truly spoken, carries deep emotional weight. Today, there has been no official statement from HYB. No clarification, no promotional schedule. But fans continue to wait, waiting to see if these two figures will speak again. Not just through music, but through unity, and perhaps through honesty. Behind the album they're preparing, there may be a larger story unfolding. A tale of tested friendship, of fame that changes everything, and of two souls trying to stay true to themselves in a world that demands them to be more than human. The LA sun still shines. But the sky feels a bit dimmer to armies today, because sometimes what worries the world is not when stars shine too bright, but when two stars that once lit each other up begin to drift apart. And now everyone is left wondering, will they speak again? Or is this the beginning of a silence no one wanted to hear? Night falls in Los Angeles, and the recording studio, usually full of booming bass lines and layered vocals, is now quiet. Only the clinking of equipment being packed up by technicians can be heard, and the shadows of two microphones stand back to back in the main vocal booth. Behind the studio glass, the producer on duty stares at the computer screen with tired eyes. He waits, not because any takes are delayed, but because of something far more unpredictable than machines: human emotion. Jungkook hasn't shown up tonight, nor has Jimin. They were scheduled to meet, to sit together and listen to the final mixes of two songs recorded separately, but neither has checked in. And tomorrow is the deadline to send the final version to the distribution label in Korea. This was supposed to be an important night, but everything feels like it's hanging on the edge of a cliff. Meanwhile, far from the studio, on the balcony of an apartment in West Hollywood, a young man sits with his head leaning against the wall. A gray hoodie hides most of his face, but the long black hair falling into his eyes makes it clear who he is. It's Jungkook that he stares at the sky, biting his lip, then reaches into his pocket. His phone lights up, showing a single name on the screen, JIMIN. No new notifications. Their last message exchange was 2 days ago. Jungkook's message read, "If you're not comfortable singing that song, I'll delete it. But you have to tell me yourself, not through the producer."
Never change. You will break your back.